Got an Inkmoth Nexus, Starwinder, Mouth of the Storm, a couple self-crafts, which are amazing commons, the Lightsmith. I've got 2 Radiants. I think I end up taking one of them out. Vanishing Light's really good. Adept's Fun, Suit, and Coordinator. Station Monitor for going wide. Good plan. Cryogen Relic, amazing card. Sunstar is okay on the draw, but not so much on the play. I got 3 of the Honored Knights, 2 Dock Workers, and 2 Cryo Shatters for cheap removal. And I think about the Honored Knight and having the equipment effect to flash in with a 6 cost if I have nothing else to do. But I just have the 1 equipment, so that's how it is. What up, Steve? Welcome to the stream. I found a new hack for duty-free music. I launch Magic the Gathering Arena in the background, and I listen to its ambience and music from the menu screen while I stream the other version of Magic. I kind of want to like full screen this video, but it's annoying. Oh, and I remember this is a long wait, so let's go to 320 where the game starts. I win the roll. Highly recommend winning the roll. Good job, Steve. Oh, Diablo 2, great game. Good game. So I keep it. It's got lands. It's got cards. A couple creatures. Pretty sweet. This first match. Oh boy. This one's a doozy. I used to do all the keystroke commands. So like down here on the bottom, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with these passes and 6 to pass the turn. But the number of times that it's lagged out and I've jammed 6 and passed through my turn, way too high with Magic the Gathering Online. So I try to keep myself clicking only. So it takes a little longer to play, but I don't end up throwing the game. This match, the keep was a little rough on the play because I only had 3 drops creature-wise, and I've got so many 2-drops in my deck that I'm like, ugh, where are my 2-drops? And I get a land, hit my land. Life's good. Slap out my 2/2 double strike. Yield through with a click. Good boy. Way to not pass your turn with a keystroke. Steve, I'm so excited for DragonCon. It's going to be great. I should be working on the song, and I should be printing out coasters, but here I am streaming this Magic game instead. But this league only takes an hour, so we're gonna watch this, and I'm out. And I have the power of fast forward. So my opponent plays the Lander token 3/3, the Galactic Wayfarer. I don't want to trade 1 for 1 with my double striker because I'm holding the Light Jammer, so I'm like, oh, it's gonna get pegged. It's gonna be good. I missed my land drop. We don't like that. That's not cool. I think about Cryo Shattering. I don't think I do. No, I do. Terrible play. Terrible play. Do I? Good. Good job, Chunky of the past. Because this way I could just flash in the jammer if I need to. I feel like I want to just play the 3/3. No, I do the Cryo Shatter like a ding-dong. Like a ding-dong. But I do have the Light Jammer open by doing that. So if I had played the 3/3, I wouldn't have the Light Jammer available for removal. I think it becomes relevant. So I am using keystrokes here. Did not become relevant. So land drop doesn't happen. Annoy. Missing those lands sucks. But what can you do? What can you do? I say, I attack you with my 2/2 double strike. Would you like to block with your mans? So the Cryo Shatter lets me just kill it without trading. But it's kind of a 1-for-1 at the moment with the Cryo Shatter to the Galactic Boy. So maybe not the best play. I don't cast anything else here because I really want to keep that Light Jammer up because right now the only thing I've got going on is my 2/2 double strike. And it's a good thing I did because they close encountered at end step, I can give my guy hexproof, and now my double striker is a 3/4, which is really strong. But they're about to have 5 mana, and then if they hit a drop, that's 6, so I'm about to get outclassed pretty heavily. They hit their 3rd color. I survive. It's still a 1-for-1 trade, so I spent a card on their card, so I am not getting ahead making 2-for-1s. They do have 6 lands, and then they just kill my guy. Very sad. Chunk sad. They go to 7 lands. They gain all the life. This is my turn. I almost yielded through it. I say, what the fuck, where are my lands? I make a 3/3, and I pass the turn. And I pass through their turn to speed it up. They make a 4/2. They get to surveil. They love the top card. They love it. Do I draw a land? Can I have a land? No, you cannot have land. Lands are illegal. I'm pretty sure I think about equipping. I don't equip. I make the dock worker. And then I think they just jack me up here. They capitalize on my land struggles. Okay, so they warp that. Yeah, okay. I remember this. Warp is in effect, so they plasma bolt my guy, who I had the dock worker out, the drone, because I was going to chump block and then put the +1/+1 counter on my 3/3 to make it a 4/4 to start to outclass, but I have to not take 5 damage, so I do the block. I say, please give me land. Land gods, we would like land. And lo, we do not get land. It is very sad. So I jam a dock worker, and I am at 11 life. They've got 2 cards, one of which is a big boy, and the other of which is another big boy. So they're looking good on board. I really, really need these lands. I can't block that. I get the land finally. So obviously I'll cast the Selfcraft Mechan, clearly. What do I just... So I end up sacking the Jammer. I put the +1/+1 counter. Pretty... I think about it too much. I put it on the dock worker because I'm like, okay, now there's 2 +1/+1 counters. And I can block and then make my Mechan a 5/6 and have a blocker for days. But I think that starts to suck because the 4/3 makes everything +1/+0. They have a 6/4 trample. They crap out the really good engineer that makes landers. So now they're I'm just going to take 7 regardless and go to 1 because of the land drop giving the 4/4 trampler or the 6/4 trampler a +1/+0, and he also gains a life, so I can't threaten him. But I do have a 5/6, so that's exciting. I do hit another land drop from my draw, but I only have 5 land, and everything I have costs 4, so that sucks. I think I just Radiant Strike the Trampler to stay alive, go back to 4 life. I think about it a lot. It's a decision, man. I don't. I feel like I should have. So they have the Trampler, and they're obviously going to hit a land drop because they get to do 8. I think that was a misplay there. I probably should have Radianted, and then they're still going to draw 8, but then they wouldn't have the 4/4 on the board. They're not going to draw 8. They're going to spend 8 to draw 2 and make a robot. And then I'm like, ugh, I don't want you to have landers because then you can just trample right over me because I'm at 1 life. And I draw another not land. Yeah, I can confirm, Steve, that 5 is more than 4. So I keep the mana open for the Radiant Strike, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll attack. because that's a good way to get them to commit. But they play it safe. They go wide again. They have the trampler, and I'm thinking maybe they'll swing with the board here because I want to be able to make the blocks. But they do make a great play. They destroy. They only attack with the trampler. That would make me have to triple block. Well, double block, really. But then lose my 5/6. So good play by my opponent there. I get my 6th land. I'm so happy about it. I get out 2 more blockers to match, but he's guaranteed 2 robots every turn. Right now I'm thinking, I could maybe get them to mill themselves, but since I'm only at 4 life, that seems very unlikely. I also get to remember that the Zookeeper Mechan can give something +4/+0 for 7 mana. But as I learned during the stream where I played for the Arena Direct, that is only sorcery speed. So you can't attack with your guy into their blocker thinking you're going to pump it. Because I almost lost a match that way. Yep, he does the thing. He just keeps going out. They have 13 cards in their deck. They've drawn so many cards. 5 cards in hand. And then this is the nail in the coffin. Dislike, I say. Thank you. Hit the land. That guy, Tannic, does 1 damage every time there's landfall, which sucks when I'm at 4 life, because then they can just jam out their lander tokens. I'm going to scour for scrap during the end step to, I don't know, try to do anything. I choose a dock worker because it's a creature, and then Relic is the only other artifact left in my deck. Relic, so good. I think I start off with a Relic here. I'm looking for a 7th land right off the top here. My opponent making me wait for it. That's all right. They're probably doing stuff. I was also shopping a little bit on TCG Player during this match, so I think I stopped paying attention for a minute. But it's not on my timer. I'm not going to fast forward yet. We want to play Magic, opponent. Super fun. I don't know. I probably should just concede here. I don't really have a winning. Yeah, and so I look for the land. I don't get it. I definitely go for the Relic to get said land. We find it. I now have 5 mana again, and even number. I've got 4s and 2s. So again, 6 is more than 5, but I get to draw another card. I make another big mech, and I get a Cryo Shatter. So it feels like maybe I can come back from here. I have hope, but I also have 2 life, and they have Landfall Guy, which I just identified. I'm like, I don't know. I'll Cryo Shatter that guy. Why not? And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, so I can't attack. He spends 5, 6, 7, 8, draws the cards, gets the robot, hits the land drop, and all he needs is 1 more land. He hits the token, and it's GG. Big loss. Very sad. Jay Callow, 98, wins the game, leads the match 1-0, defeats Chonky Kong. Chonky Kong, who knows that 6 is more than 5, for he is smart. I make no changes. I get 4 lands, a Cryo Shatter. I'm missing all my 2 drops. I'm like, I really want to mull this to be more aggressive, but I've got lands and spells, so we can't do that. That would be silly. My opponent also likes their keep, and I'm like, F. Very sad. Very, very sad. Pretty island, though. Very pretty island. They get a lander token out first thing. I say, cool. I think I get a really good top deck. Yeah, I get a Knight Captain. So I get to put out 2 power on the board to maybe give it a little pressure. Clicking to pass my turns like a good boy so I don't pass. They've got the Mechan, which really Fs me up on my tempo. But I solve the puzzle by cryo-shattering their mana dork. I get my 2 damage in. Huzzah. Take that, Jacalo 98. Now you're back to 20 life. I've got the Mechan. I've got the Radiant Strike. The problem with the Mechan right now is that I don't have anything to sacrifice to it. So that's no fun. He sacked his token to get a 3rd land. I assume he plays a 4th. No, he uses the mana to Plasma Bolt. So we're all in a 1-for-1, except that I also have a 1/1 token out. So that's cool. Great top deck on the Cryogen Relic. I slap a land down and attack for 1. You're below your starting total. Turn 4, opponent. You're on a 19-turn clock. But I get to do the Relic thing, and I get my Dual Striker out, which is loads of fun. My opponent is missing land drops, maybe? Yep, they missed a land drop on turn 4, which was me. I turn off the auto. I'm always turning off auto yells because I'm like, I don't want to pass through my turn. I don't attack. Yep, okay. I got to get out of the habit of slamming down my land if I'm going to pass through to the second main, because sometimes you can bait an attack, and they're like, oh, they missed a land drop, but not in this situation. Doesn't really seem. I just go for the double spell guy. Also to bait out removal, because I want to try to finish the game with the Dual Sun Adept Double Striker. They are really missing their lands. So the landers help there. I have 5 lands. I do the Mechan, right? So I was kind of hoping to get that, but I get to draw 2 cards here. And I put it on the Mechan itself because the double spell creature allows you to draw cards and puts +1/+1 counters on itself. But I'm still not pressuring my opponent. They are getting to build their mana base via landers and then natural drop there. Bam, barrage to kill my double spell guy. So he has to kill that because it generates card advantage for me. And we are both at 5 cards in hand. I can finally attack, which is nice. What do I do? Yeah, I Cryo Shatter here to try to press the advantage. And Starwinder to get more cards. And Starwinder to get more cards. No, I decided not to. I definitely should have. Maybe I throw another creature down and we get there next turn. I'm like, I'll have 3 attackers. Best they could do is put out 2 blockers, so I'm guaranteed a card draw. Yeah, okay. That's where I end up in my brain. I'm holding these 2 Radiant Strikes, and I think I end up siding them out a lot in the next couple of games because I run into this scenario where I need to destroy target artifact or tapped creature. And since I am the aggressor now, they're not tapping their creatures. So I'm just sitting there. So they cost 4. I'm like, he's got an island. Did he even play an island last time? So he's definitely getting the lander tokens. I say that, yes, you can have landers because I don't want your 4/3. They get the Death Toucher, yeah. So now they've got a 2/2 Death Touch and a 2/2/1, a 2/1. And then this is where I Starwind. Yeah, I'm going to Starwind. Starwind's so hard. I show them my bomb finally. I go in with everything. So my Dual Sun guy, I'm like, okay, they'll probably chump it because of the way the Starwinder is. Every time you do damage, you can choose to draw that many cards. Still seeing my Radiant Strikes, but they surprise me, and they trade with the token, so I get a 2-for-1 out of the Knight, and I get to draw 4 cards off of the Sun Adept because he's got double strike. And I say to myself, man, where are all my 2-drops? I do get to play a land here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can drop my Starwinder back down whenever I want to because I've got 7 lands. And I have 6 cards in hand. My opponent plays a Crashy Boy and a land and a 2/2. I think I banish the Trampler because I'm like, they have 1 card in hand. I've got soon to be 7 cards. Seems like a very winning position. I'm like, concede game, turn off auto yields. Imagine misclicking. It still prompts you afterwards. But, 3, I banish. I banish you. Get banished. And then I have 5 mana and a bunch of 4-drops and no artifacts to sacrifice for my Mechan. So I just go in for double strike 4. This is a long match. I'm already at 14 minutes, so I was definitely shopping on TCG Player because I was like, I want to pick up some pieces for the Grixis Modern Persist because maybe a friend of the show, Josh Ting, wants to play some Modern at DragonCon, but I end up emptying my cart. And not doing it. And I get 4 damage in. I say, that's pretty cool. I think I end up holding the mana because I've got Scour for Scrap, I've got Radiant Strike, and the Mechan would just be a 3/4 for 4, which isn't that great. They're thinking about tapping stuff. Okay, so they double. They don't need red mana. They are filtering their deck. They say they're having a hard time. They missed land drops, and now they are flooding afterwards, which no one likes. No one likes that. I think about it for a sec, but of course I'll get the Relic because it's amazing. And then I'm like, whoa, I could also have the Light Jammer to protect my guy. What a smart play, Chunky. Inkmoth Nexus. I get to play it. Don't know if it's good. Still don't know if it's good. I definitely picked it up in the second round of a pack. We get 2, 3, 4. The Mechan. We sacrifice the Relic. We draw another card. We get the +1/+1 counter on our double striker. Hooray. We think about tapping for the Inkmoth, and then we don't. They block it. So they are afraid of a pump, I guess. They get an 0-for-1 trade. They sacrifice that. I've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage on board. They've got that guy. I'm still holding up my jammer. So actually I have 11 damage on board. They drop the engineer, which could really get them back in the game. We don't like that. Okay. I say islands are great. I count my mana. 9, 10 of them. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, good job. Good job. I slap down a 7/7. They have 0 cards in hand. I feel strong. I say I attack you for 9. He's got a 3/3, and I'm like, okay, I'll make that trade. I don't see the +1/+1 kind of lander play that they're about to do. So they'd hit the lander. It becomes a 4/4, so it would actually kill my Mechan. And for some reason, I really don't like that. I hate that. And so I make the Light Jammer play, which actually ends up being relevant later. I do not want to draw to 9 and have to discard because I only have 1 mana open. But I do have lethal on board at the moment, and they have 1 card. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm so good. They just draw and hit another land. They've still got 2 cards in hand. They put down another guy, and I'm like, I have a 7/7. Hooray. I'm like, okay, these Radiant Strikes sucked. I want Focus Fire. I think about having a 1/1, 2/1 Vigilance creature, but I keep with the Focus Fire because I am on the draw. Maybe I don't. I do. Okay. This is a fun match. I get a hand. It has no lands. I have to keep it. My opponent snap keeps. I say, I like 3 lands. I think about putting back the Nexus. I don't. I say, to hell with this Plains. Cryogen Relic is going to make up for the thing that I lose. I now have all the lands I could ever need. I have like, all right, I get Focus Fire. Inkmoth Nexus, cool card. Hammer Time, great. I slap down a 2/3. Is that what I do? No, I go for card advantage because I am on the draw. I get a Cryo Shatter, 1 mana removal. Hooray! More land, more good, says Steve. And don't worry, I get it. So I get the Expansionist. After they've done, I get the token out of it, which is cool. Good play. Good use of resource there. Chunky of the past. I've got a 3/3 on board, a Relic that'll draw me another card, and a Lantern token if I need it. Feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot. They are not drawing green, but they do have a 4/3. I like this play, I say. I don't need to destroy my Relic because I have a Lander. And then I say, oh, that was actually really dumb because it's got 4 power. What have I done? My 4/4 still trades with their 4/3. So that was a bit of a misplay. Very sad, Chunk. My opponent has 6 cards in hand. They just destroy my 4/4 and come at me. We both have 5 cards in hand, and I definitely have my land drop. And I get another card from the Relic, so I decide for the trade. And I have Scour for Scrap in hand, which means I can just do it. 2, 3, make a 3/3, and then I can draw. No, I want to leave. Why would I want to do that? Yeah. Why would you not use the colorless mana, Chunky? Now I can bluff with a counterspell. I think I just pressed 2 here. They are hitting their forest finally. My opponent has 2, 4, 6 land on turn 6, so they have not really missed anything. I want to go for card, even though it doesn't get me to the stun token. So we slap a land. Yes, we slap a land. We thought about using the Inkmoth, but we didn't. 1, 2. We use colored land when we have colorless for whatever reason. I guess I'm like, oh, I could put the Inkmoth out and do a Focus Fire if they hasted me for lethal. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm thinking there. But I do have the Scour for Scrap for 2 cards for 1. The lands have delicious petroleum. So they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They get to 8. They Plasma Bolt my guy. We're very sad because it's gonna. I'm like, I can do something. I can't. It just happens. I yield to the end step. I Scour. I want the Relic back because it's so good. And I have another Mechan in my deck. So I for sure could take that. There's no way I don't. I think about it. Like, yeah, that's good. That's good, right? I have 6. That costs 6. It does stuff. Sweet. So more blue, more good. I think about being able to put +1/+1 counters on the Inkmoth. And then I do the math and say, hey, that actually takes 7. We're not going to do that. We make the Inkmoth. We cast blue mana for it because we want to keep the white open for Focus Fire, though we have 2, so maybe not the best choice. It is a Flying Infect, So I give them 1 poison token. 10 poison tokens is a victory for those of us who are not in the know. So they're on a 9-turn clock. By turn 17, they are surely dead if they can't block a flyer with 5 cards in their hand. There I am turning off auto yields again. They get a big boy. Big boy is strong. Yep. I say, yes, he is strong. He's a 4/4. And when he's tapped, he makes lander tokens to make him more big. I focus fire that because I'm like, I've got 2 cryo shatters. I'm just going to burn all my removal and clear the board. Sounds fun. They make a big trampler. I'm like, no big deal. I've got 2 cryo shatters. 2, 3, 4. You can get there, bud. 1, 2, 3. Hit a 4. There you go. That. And then cryo shatter to get a +1/+1 counter on it and draw the card. I'm not paying really attention to the timer right now, and it probably should be, because we are in the 9th minute. But I've got the 4/4 that keeps me in it and draws me cards, so they have to remove that 4/4, or else I pull ahead, because I got 3 cards in hand, so they can assume that I can cast a spell. And if I can't, I can always do the relic. They get another 4/4. They've got big fatties, so they do have the removal for my +1/+1 counter draw guy. I want to crack that, but I can't. I've got a drone. Okay, I see a line. I think about my line. I make the drone. It all comes down. What's he do? He makes, he counts. He doesn't count. He knows he's got it. He makes the mechan. He surely leaves up a blue. Good job. Great sequencing. So sacrifice that. I get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on my Inkmoth Nexus. 1 from there and 1 from there. It's now a 3/3 infect flyer. I drew another land, taking them to 5 infect. I look at it and I'm like, wait, I thought the dock worker was a 2/2. Why didn't I get 2 +1/+1 counters? In fact, it is a 1/1 that gets a +1/+1 counter. We cryo shatter their other crasher, because why the heck not? They're down to 1 card, and I've got a 3/3 flying infect, which wins me in 2 turns, and we get the win via Inkmoth Nexus. What a wonderful time. I have match 2 pretty immediately. I lost my little paper where I wrote down what the timers were. Help, Steve. Help. I win the roll again. I found my paper. I'm like, okay, I've got spells and cards, and if I don't draw planes, I've got the Cryogen Relic to draw me more cards to find my planes. So that's fine. This is cool. A great turn 1 play, Island Pass. I mean, you kid about Spirit Bomb, but I bet there's going to be a Dragon Ball Z Universes Beyond. I hit the plane on turn 2. I say, everything is amazing. I'm just going to start attacking them with my 1/1s. They've got the 4/1 Defender. They make no turn 2 play. I still slap the land down. Like, I need to get better at, if I'm going to attacking, as long as I have enough mana for any combat tricks I'm going to do. So because then they might make a block thinking that I've missed a land drop, and that's something that I've been baited by, and then I don't do it to my opponents because I'm a bad player. But I do put the 3/3 down that gains me 2 life, which is good. Pass through the turn with a click. Good chunk. I might have wanted to play the Relic because I definitely want to hit my 4th land drop. My opponent's got the Aristocrat creature. We do hit the 4th land drop anyway. Chunk so lucky, chunk so strong. I say land. I play a land. Aggressively play an island. I think I attack here because I'm thinking to myself, I've got the jammer to use as a combat trick and not just a removal sidestep. So I do that. Yep, that's what I do think. And it works. I beat boop. So I get an equipment on the board. It kills their guy. They lose a life, and they lose a life. I gain a life. Or I said it backwards. Words are hard. And I say, maybe I'll hit my land. Maybe. I pass through anyway. Oh, I do not. And I'm like, oh, expansionist. Cool. The life gain is relevant because they have the aristocrat style guy. He's a 2/2 that whenever anything else dies, he gains one, I lose one. So he should be able to prolong the game until he gets something on the end. Banishing Light versus... I don't want to play the expansionist because I really want that lander, so I slap the Banishing Light down. I'm not sure about this because I missed the land drop, but it is what I do. I attack with my 4/5. I can't attack with the 1/1s because... What? Totally lost, Bert. Name of my opponent. I'm like, okay, sweet. They've got 5 lands. I can play the expansionist and get a lander. They sacrifice a land to draw a card. And I say, F. Look, if they have more lands than you, you get a lander. And I was kind of hoping that that would happen. But I do say, hooray, because I'm probably flashing my Starwinder. Next turn. To at least draw a card. Yes, that's what I do. Yeah, that's a good play. You figured it out, bud. You're so smart. So I at least get to draw a card if they have no removal. Otherwise, 2 is the number of cards that I could get to draw. I think about yielding, but either way, I'm surprised by this turn of events. I have to decide which one is which, and I say, you know what? I'm going to draw the 1 card. Say I'm going to draw the 1 card. Good job, Chunk. That's not a land. So I draw the other 4 because I'm like 4 plus 4 is 8. Then surely there'll be a land. I turn off auto yields just to make sure. And I then play a plains like a dummy instead of an island. Because if I played an island, I could play the Cryo Shatter for 1 on their tap and draw a card guy or their tap and give it haste guy. But alas, I am dumb. Think about conceding because I am so dumb. I just saw it. I was like, ugh. 30 seconds later, the gear ticked over. They get a 3/3 haster. They don't want to attack because they're at 8 and I'm at 25, so they have to be on the defense. I get my 6th and then 7th land. Allow it for sure that I can play Mouth of the Storm and the Starwinder. I aggressively use my island to Cryo Shatter. Sure, why not that guy? And then I'm like, sweet. I got it. I'm going to attack for 4. Very smart. Very smart to attack for 4. Good play. Good play. 3 is not 4, so they just offer to take it, but they've got the Dark Endurance, so they actually it ends up being a strict 1-for-1 because I'd already killed the Sentry, and I get to keep the other guy. I think that's how that works. I go wide at them. So wide, so large. I think about what guy to play. What guy do I want to play? It's a big decision. I go for the flyer. Flying creatures win games. And I can return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. What permanent do I control? I control a flash, hexproofing, +1/+2 equipment. I choose that. I still don't have to use the relic because I definitely have 7 mana. They get to 6. They get a Death Toucher. 1, 2, 3. They sacrifice their guy to draw a card, which Cryogen was going to kill it anyway, so irrelevant. But they do have 2 cards at hand. 3 mana open. Maybe they have a Bombard. I don't know. I get my 7th land. I'm like, Starman? No, I don't. I play the Mouth. It's got Ward 2, so it can't be bombarded or anything. It gives all their guys -3/-0 until the end of till the start of my next turn, something like that. But just allows me to attack. I definitely get 2 damage in. I get 3 damage in, and then I have a 6/6 flyer with Ward 2 to close the game. Bada bing. Bada boom? Bada bing, bada boom? Maybe? Yeah, they got that guy. They play it. And I just don't do anything, right? I think about attacking with my 6/6 for half a second. I attack for 8 in the air. My opponent concedes. Hooray. Starwinder has exited the zone. I'm like, man, these Radiant Strikes, they're so terrible. I should really take them out of my starting deck. Why am I playing with this? But I make the Squire's Lightblade instead. Winning with the Inkmoth Nexus on game 3 of the first match feels so good. My opponent chooses to play first. I have 3 islands and a white spell. I think they mull to 6, so I keep this one for the card advantage, even though it's a really bad hand. Probably not the best choice, but we do have like 8 or 9 planes. So, I don't know, there's 1 in 4 chance. It's an island. Very sad. They have probably the best 1-drop, the 1/1 Menace that also does burn damage for things in the graveyard, which is very cool. Very cool, very legal. I'm like, okay, give me that planes. No, but we do get a relic. Relic's good. And I say, give me that planes. We don't get it. Very sad. But we still have 7 cards in hand to their 5, soon to be 4. There's 4. They are only attacking for 1. They don't have anything in their graveyard to pump the Menace guy, so I'm not feeling super pressured. The Weftstalker can go crazy. We hit the planes. Everything's awesome. Life's great. I'm like, do I want to? I don't. I don't want to. I would like creatures on the board, but I can't do anything about that 2/3 at the moment. Yielding through the turn with a click so as not to pass turns because we've been burned in the past. And yielding to unstep in case for the same reason. Goodbye, horses. They get a Mutavault. I'm worried about that. That's a good one. That's definitely better than my Inkmoth, I believe. 2/2 beater, although Inkmoth does fly. And it did get me that win, so how could I say such a terrible thing against my Inkmoth? I'm like, they've got 4. They've showed me the Dark Endurance. So this could be a 1-for-2 trade, but I go for it because why not? And then it turns out that they've got the Robot. So I take a damage from the Robot triggering the Weft Stalker. And then they get the Rust Harvester back. I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a problem. That could be bad. But I do have Banishing Light. Mechan's a good draw there. I just Banishing and pass. I need to up my recording quality because this is a little pixelated here. Not really anything I can do about it at the moment. I could full screen it and make it more pixelated. Stretch to fit screen. How's that look? It's pretty awful. That's pretty awful. All right. They've got Rust Harvester, Weft Stalker, only one card in hand, so I think I don't make a great choice here. Obviously, I'm trying to kill it on card advantage so I can go wide here. I sack the Relic. I get to draw 2. I put it on the token, and he's got 2 2/3s, so I'm like, why would you do that? That was very stupid. We miss... I guess we don't miss the land because it's turn 5 and I have 5 lands. But we don't draw another land, so it's a good thing I did the double draw because I think I get a 6th land here. 50-50 on if it's... I think I get a 6th land here. No, we don't. We wish we got a 6th land here. We say, WTF, mate. I honestly don't know what to do here. I think maybe I just drop a 2 and a 3 drop. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I can't drop a 3 drop because I only have 1 white mana. I think that is the exact thought process that went through my head before. My opponent doesn't miss their land, but that's not great for them because they are needing to go wider for board presence. They get the damage. They have more board, but 0 cards. 2, 4, 6, and 7 lands. So I've generated a good card advantage here. We still don't get the land. We say, ugh. I'm so sad that I'm in a winning position. I think. I've got 4. I really want that card draw, so I will sack the drone to do the counter, +1/+1 counter thing. This time I know that it's a 1/1 that has only 1 +1/+1 counter on it. So I put 1 on the old one and to correct the mistake of the 4/4, and I say, still no land, very sad. 7 cards in hand. Can't attack from such a position of weakness. I have 7 cards in hand. My opponent passes through the turn. Do I get the land? I do. And it's also the right second color, so now I can actually cast 2 spells. What am I holding? I'm holding the Jammer, and I've also got a Radiant Strike. The Radiant Strike is actually useful this time because all their creatures are artifacts except for the Weft Stalker. They triple block, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize they could do that. I'm a big dummy. Stunned, shocked Pikachu face. I'm like, okay, I've got the Jammer. What's that? That makes it a 5/7. They've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What I don't realize is that I can Radiant Strike their guys because they're artifacts, and I didn't have to lose that guy. But here we are. I think I realize it now, maybe in a second. Maybe in a second, he said. Come on, buddy. Realize it. No, you never realize it. Yes, those are cards. You can play them. Ah, here's where we realize it. We're like, oh, those are artifacts. Anyway, life goes on. We do the Coordinator. And perhaps the Savior. Because why wouldn't you? They have 1 card in hand. You have 6. You should play the Savior. You're dumb. Why is Chunky so dumb? We'll never know. I leave open the jammer, I guess. I'm leaving the jammer for if they top deck removal. I don't know why. We get the Inkmoth. I'm like, we're going to do it again. I'll do it again, he says. This time, he attacks. Oh, he's so strong. Now I realize I have a Radiant Strike. Oh, so smart. And then I'm like, oh, I'm stunned. They've got a Mutavault that we knew about. It's been on the board this whole time. So then they can, again, triple block. And we say, crap, that sucks. But we realize we have the Radiant Strike. Haha. So 1, 2, 3, and colorless 4. Good job. Good job. Gets us back to 17. Lets us kill their guy. They don't... I think about hitting the jammer. Why would you? That would be dumb. I mean, the Inkmoth Nexus, Steve, does probably have the best art. You're right. That is the card I played. But, like, art's subjective, man. What is even best in art? My opponent is a thinker. They don't like this. I think they're making me wait. I don't know. They Rust Harvest. They try to... Okay, this is what happens. Yeah, so they do the Rust Harvester. They +1/+1 power and deal the damage. So they're like, oh, I'm going to do the thing. But they, in fact, deal the damage to themselves. I think they misclicked. I'm pretty sure I had this game anyway, but they say, oops, LOL. And I say, that sucks. They can see the match. Sad, but I was definitely going to win that one. We are 2-0 after an epic comeback in match 1 and capitalize on card advantage and a misplay from our opponent, even though we were also pretty dumb that match. Game 3. This is the one. So I start this one and I'm like, oh, wait. I don't want those cards in my deck. So I end up taking out the Radiant Strike and I put in the Blade. I study the Blade with the Radiant Strike. I'm like, the Light Blade, it's good. It's got to be good. I also hit cancel when the match is about to join, and then it crashes the game because MTGO is 20 years old. We find the opponent. We go into game 3. We have a land and spell situation where we are missing our second color again. But I'm like, oh, we won the roll. We've got 7 cards that we can play. At least have a turn 2 drop. And if I don't have a turn 2, I can wait till turn 3 where they get a third land and I get a lander to get blue for sure. I'm calling for my island. Calling for the island. We do not hit the island. But not to waste mana economy, I slap the 2/3 down against the Predator GR. They've got a 2/2. My 2/3 is so much stronger than their 2/2. Island. No island. Very sad. Very sad. I slap down the card with the great art. Inkmoth Nexus. Making my guy a 3/3 because when landfall he gets +1/+1. +1/+0. I keep thinking it's +1/+0. And then I say, oh, genius play. Bring that guy back. They'll totally get more lands than you in 2 turns. And I'm calling for my island. It is known that you can affect what the top deck is by squiggling your mouse around. That is just an objective truth. I stopped squiggling, so it would be very sad if I didn't get my land. Very, very sad. They get the Requiem Monolith, which is a great card advantage engine. You can, until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature is dealt damage. You draw that many cards and lose that much life. This creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's limited in its use, but it is a card advantage engine. I don't want to take that trade because I'm ahead in the life race. I finally hit the island. I'm like, yes, Cryogen Relic time. Best card. I'm going to slam it. I think about life for a second, and I say, I'm going to Radiant Strike instead on that card draw engine that they've got going on, because card advantage wins games, and I'm really not that ahead. I'm like, ooh, Cryogen Relic though, so good. Requiem Monolith, also probably better because it's a guaranteed 1 card every turn. So I destroy it, and then I also gain 3 life, which really puts me ahead in the race that this game becomes. They still have 7 cards in hand from the card draw, and I'm aware of that. A 2/2 flyer does help close out games, so that's fun. Mr. GR Predator plays a forest. They've got 4 lands. Hits in with the 2/2. Concede? I think about conceding. I'm back down to 19. They make the 4/1 that surveils. I've had a lot of luck with that card. It gives you good selection. It's an aggressive amount of power. They love their top card. Me, I don't know. How do I feel about this top card? It is a land. That is definitely a land, and it's got colors. I think about life. I tap pretty foolishly for the relic, but I was always looking for an island, and I didn't have 4. But I kind of I always want to be tapping a colorless in place of a colored land, just in case. It's a good habit to be in. Maybe it promotes good play. I think I remember that that's what I want to do, and maybe I can represent, like I have the 1 mana deal 2 plus the number of creatures you have to target attacking or blocking creature. But I also then just pass through the turn, so I really am not representing that at all, because I am not smart. Can't be countered. Trample haste, 3/2 for 2 green. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and combat damage cannot be prevented. I take a while to read that. I just make the trade, which they also surveil again. They put the worm away, which is weird. And then I see why. So then they can grab ship and get back the worm. I say, ugh. I wish I had that Radiant Strike back. But I do get my Dual Striker, which really gums up the combats. What do I decide to do? I don't want to attack because I want to be able to surprise block with a Light Jammer on the grab ship, because he's going to drop the worm and crew the grab ship and attack me with a lifelinker, and I don't want that lifelinker to stick around because we are in a fluctuating life race. He gets back to 14 life and then would be attacking for 3 lifelink. Yep. 7, and then also crews it with the 2/2. Good choice. I think he only attacks with the flyer because my guy has double strike. That would be a silly thing to do. What's up, Phil? Thanks for joining. My opponent is in a position of strength, but I've got some ideas. It's a short stream. I've got to make dinner. Wife came home from work. Dinner wasn't ready. I'm in trouble playing this game. Pixelation, not great. So they have Convoke, destroy target creature, vote out. It's a good thing that I played the Jammer, because now my double striker, I get to save, and it's also a 3/4 double strike that has the ability to pay 5 to pump. So that's huge. That is a huge turn of events for Chonky. My opponent does not want to attack with their lifelink grab ship. Understandable. We hit a land. I don't think I push it here. Oh, I do. Chonk is aggressor. Chonk is strong aggressor. He offers the trade. Even if I pump, the trade is a trade. So I still do 3 damage to them with my guy. I'm okay with trading That's a great draw. Station Monitor, good card. It's a 2/2 for white-blue that allows you, whenever you cast your second spell, to make a 1/1 flying artifact creature that can only block creatures with flying. I think I'm like, I don't pass through here because I'm like, oh, I'm going to cast Skyr for scrap. Little do I realize I have only 1 blue mana, and it is tapped, alas. I have all these blue spells. So I'm just going to eat 3. And then they're going to play a 5/5 worm, which will take them to 13, where we'll be tied in our life totals. Bum, bum, bum. I'm like, yeah, that worm exists. 13 to 13, and they've got 3 creatures to my 1, but my 1 is a pretty classy broad. I'm looking for a top deck here that allowed me double spell. That is not it, but it is a large creature that I have enough mana to spend. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count to 7 very aggressively, and then I can just swing. That was a great top deck. I get a 6/6 flyer. They take it. They need an answer to my 6/6 flyer with Ward 2. I don't think they see it because I've got the... I mean, maybe they just don't have it, right? But they tap out and make another 5/5. I've got the artifact. I also top deck another equipment that would give me the win. And I'm like, oh, I can just do that. But I decide to just, I don't know, show them my threats so that during the next game they have a better idea of what's in my deck for whatever reason. Not sure why I do that. But then I'm like, oh, I'll just swing for lethal here. And I win. I say the Lightblade is irrelevant. I think about other cards that I could play instead. I decide that since the Squire's Lightblade is a combat trick anyway, I might as well play a combat trick that does not require me to have a creature. Great thought process, Chonky Kong. I've got... to the colors. I've got the Station Monitor. I get to play it for like literally the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this 7th game. Don't get that 3rd mana yet. Big Sadge. Big Sadge. I yield to next end step so I can't pass through any turns because I've been burned. Click OK. We get the 3rd land. We are so happy. We're going into open black green, so I'm just slamming the monitor and hoping that they don't have depressurize or something like that, and they don't, so that's cool. They've got 3 lands and 6 cards in hand. Surely they have a thing. They go for the monument again, the card draw engine. Very good. Slam down the land before I attack because that's the guy that I am. My friends in chat, he was Steve and Imaginary Nomad, are emailing each other like a bunch of Nigels. Silly bunch of boys. My opponent plays their 4th land. They have the card draw engine. They vote out my double striker. Very sad. I have a plains. I play it. I'm like really looking to double spell here. Like any minute now, I'm like, I need a double spell. I got to go off. I got to make the 1/1s that fly. I got my Sunstar Lightsmith. I'm ready. But I really don't want them to get back in the game. I don't want them to get back in the game. Am I going to do it during their upkeep? What am I thinking? Why wouldn't I just destroy it? I think I wait for them to play a creature on the stack. Yeah, that's what I do. And then I Radiant Strike it so that they maybe make a suboptimal play. So actually that was a good play, Chunk. Very smart. Oh, I was wrong about that episode. It's Norman's, not Nigel's. Do we do the Nigel thing later? They play this Meltstrider's Gear, which everybody passes that card because it's, bad. But it does give their guy a 6/5 reach. I play the 4-drop 3/3 that whenever I play a second spell, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and it draws a card. So they've used their vote out. They probably don't have any more removal into cards, I hope. But they are in black-green. And they have the grab ship, which gets them a third card, another creature. They choose the heavy, which I'm like, huh? And they play another Melt Strider's Gear, having an 8/6 Death Touch Reach to make that guy. I'm like, what is up with these lands? Why is this real life? But I solved the puzzle. I'm so smart. I have 4 lands and things that cost 3 total. I decide to put it on the big boy. And then I'm like, oh, it still has more power. But I do get the land, which is cool. And then I'm like, huh. Maybe not. Maybe I made the wrong choice. But I've got Focus Fire and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures. Plus the 2 is 7. I turn off auto yields just to make sure. They want to race me with the lifelinker, which is weird. Instead of, I assume they would have made that block on the 2/2, but they don't go for it. Talking about episodes of Botched Podcast, which all 3 of us in chat are showrunners on, and we've made some funny jokes. I'm not really sure what their thought process was there in not blocking. I guess they wanted to connect with damage and have recurring blah. Wonderful top deck, allowing me to go off on my double spell. Cryogen Relic makes it all possible. Still not hitting the lands, but I'm so wide right now. I'm so wide. Look at all those 1/1s. I make the flyer attack. I just attack for 1 because I don't want to get my guys death touched. And I'm imagining I'll be able to double spell because I get to draw a card, and then if I need another one from the Cryogen Relic, I get to draw a card. If I get an island, I can play both the Starwinder and an Honored Knight Captain. They have 1 card left in hand. Their Reach Death Toucher dies anytime something touches it. I top deck another Cryo Shatter, which is not very, very cool of me, but I'll take it. I go even wider. I play a second card because I solved the puzzle. I've got a Cryo Shatter. I put it on their Death Toucher. I'm going off. I'm doing the thing. Do I get the land? I don't, but I have a Dockworker drone, and I like that. I'm like, okay, wait. I can just attack with everything, right? But I don't. Not very aggressive. Oh, very aggressive. There you go. Look at all those 1/1s. I don't even care if they die. Who cares if those die? Doesn't even matter. So he kills one of my 1/1s. I don't know why he didn't take 2 of them with him. But now I've got a drone. There's no way I can lose from this position unless they top deck a board wipe. Do they have a board wipe? Black and green has board wipe, right? Do they? I'm like, oh, it's that X = 6. No, he plays the Godma, which is actually very scary. But now I can just attack with all. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And everything I have in my hand costs 7. So that's kind of silly. I guess I just go with the Starbaugh, because then I can draw cards no matter what. But it doesn't really impact the board, and I win on board anyway, so I wasted some time there. This victory brought to you by Botch Podcast. I get the trophy. Life is amazing. I've completed my league. I excitedly circle my trophy. Undefeated. Board so small on screen because it is a replay, and I need to up my my delicious chunky recording quality in